Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Grace, and I am a volunteer facilitator for MOACAC. Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for All Missouri Students, sponsored by the Missouri Association for College Admissions Counseling and StriveScan. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so panelists can't see you or hear you, but you can again use that Q&A feature. This is just one of the many sessions going on throughout this process, so be sure to check out a full schedule at moacac.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, moacac.org. At this time, I'll go ahead and turn it over to our presenters.
Great. Thank you, Grayson. Welcome, everyone. We appreciate you spending part of your evening with us. My name is Susan Lutz. I'm our Assistant Director of Local Recruitment here in St. Louis. So I work primarily with our private high schools in the St. Louis area. I'm going to let my colleagues introduce themselves, and then I also have two students that are joining us. They will introduce themselves, and then we'll get going with the presentation. Go ahead, guys.
Hi, my name is Mark Notham. I'm one of our senior admission counselors here at SLU. I've been here for almost 5 years now in my Missouri territory. I work with students all across central and southern Missouri. So pretty much everywhere in the state outside of St. Louis and Kansas City. I also work with students in the southern metro area, so kind of like the South County area public schools. So that's the main body I work with. I also work with some Illinois and some Arkansas, but for Missouri, that's the main territory that I work with.
Hi everyone, my name is Katie Carrier. I am also a senior admission counselor. I've been at SLU since 2016, and I take care of students in parts of St. Louis County as well as St. Charles County, and I'm also pursuing my master's at SLU while I work full-time, and I will graduate in December. Thanks so much for joining.
Hello everyone, my name is David. I'm a student at SLU. I'm a sophomore. I study international relations and international business, and I'm very excited to answer all of your questions tonight.
Hi everyone, my name is Megan Mazander, and I'm a senior student at SLU. I study neuroscience on the pre-med track, and I'm from Peoria, Illinois.
Thank you, everyone. As you guys heard from Grayson, our StriveScan moderator, there is a Q&A box at the bottom. So if you guys want to really quickly drop in there what high school you're from, that would be great. We just kind of like to know who's in the room with us. And then all throughout the presentation, don't hesitate to pop in questions. We'll be kind of managing that chat, and then we'll answer some questions once we're finished as well. So with that being said, let's get started. We are so excited to have you join us with SLU. Mark. Thank you. So a couple little quick facts about SLU. We have just over 8,000 undergraduate students, about a little over 12,500 students total. That includes our graduate school, all of our graduate and PhD programs, our law school, and our medical school. We have two campuses. So we have our campus in St. Louis, Missouri, which is located in Midtown, and we'll talk a little more about the Midtown area later on. But we also have a campus in Madrid, Spain, and students can apply to both campuses to start as freshmen. Many of our St. Louis students utilize the Madrid campus for study abroad opportunities. The Madrid campus classes are taught in English, and our students live with host families. So it's a really great immersed cultural experience. SLU was founded in 1818, so we're rooted, have a strong rooted history in St. Louis, and we are a member, SLU is a Jesuit institution, which means we're rooted in social justice and service. We have a Catholic affiliation. About 50% of our students identify as Catholic. You certainly are not required to be Catholic to attend SLU. We don't have any required masses or theology courses currently. Some may have some depending on your major, but we're welcoming of all faiths. And really the concept of Jesuit education is educating the whole person. So strengthening folks as leaders and critical thinkers. It's men and women serving alongside other men and women. And we're really focused on social justice, but also on service. And you can see there that last year our students completed 1.98 million hours of community service. And that's not required, though our students are wanting to do that. It's integrated in our curriculum. It's part of a lot of our organizations and activities. And students are doing service service locally in the St. Louis area. They're doing those throughout Missouri. And then we have a variety of international, domestic, as well as international service opportunities. Students will study for a couple weeks. They may go to Haiti and do some sort of service activity. So there's a variety of ways to offer service at SLU if that's something that you're connected with, feel connected with, and interested in doing. One question we always get when we're meeting with students is, what is a Billiken? You know, students will say it looks like a gargoyle or a troll. You know, it's really kind of an interesting character. It was originated from an artist in Kansas City as a good luck symbol. And it came to St. Louis, it traveled to the St. Louis area in the early 1900s, and it became a symbol of good luck. You put it on piggy banks and belt buckles. So it's kind of known in the area. And then we had not terribly, in the early 60s, we had a football team, and a local sportscaster thought that our football coach, John Bender, resembled a Billiken. So they started calling us the Bender's Billikens. And we haven't had football for many, many years, but the Billiken has stuck with us ever since. So it's unique mascot that we really take pride in. And it really just represents that symbol of good luck and the way things ought to be. And it's really a reflection of the Jesuit mission and who we are at SLU.
So some basic facts that we do have about SLU, like was mentioned already, we are a medium-sized institution with roughly 8,000 students in our undergraduate program. So what does that mean? Is that our average class size is right around 26 students, and we have a 9-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So we try to keep our class sizes small so you're able to know your classmates and faculty, particularly in your department that your major is located in, as well as 99% of our tenured faculty at SLU have what's known as their terminal degree. They're the highest degree that they can earn in their field. So you're being taught by the top faculty at SLU, and we really don't have a whole lot of grad assistants or teaching assistants teaching courses. It's mainly the faculty members themselves. So you are able to develop that closer relationship with them. Depending on your major, you might have the same faculty members multiple times that you would typically see at a smaller institution. So we do offer a lot of great opportunities in that regard for our students. Speaking of the majors themselves, we do offer nearly 90 different undergraduate programs to choose from, as well on top of that, additional minors and concentrations. What that basically means is we offer a wide range of opportunities for students, and we usually see the highest interest in our programs related to the medical field. Our pre-med track, paired that with a strong science or another program, as well as our overall health sciences programs like PT, OT, and nursing, our engineering programs, as well as our business programs. But we do have strong programs across the board, with several ranked in the top 50 in the country. So we're very excited to offer a strong academic background for students to pursue whatever degree that they're searching. And whatever degree program you do choose, we do have a strong focus on applied learning, hands-on learning experiences, in order to allow you to get some real-world experience, not just classroom experience. And some great ways we do that is, obviously we have a lot of great internship opportunities that we have relations with area businesses and corporations, as well as we have a great research space. We actually just dedicated a brand new interdisciplinary science and engineering building located right in the middle of our campus. That added 10,000 square feet of additional lab space. So we're very excited about providing these great opportunities to do research, not just by our faculty, but as for our undergraduate students as well. Another popular, like I mentioned already, PT/OT nursing, but biology, aerospace engineering, psychology, communication, those are all very popular majors that we see at SLU. And so kind of what campus life is like, although we're an urban campus located right in the middle of the city of St. Louis, we are an enclosed campus. And that means that we have hard boundaries that go around the edge of our campus. It's more like a park located right in the middle of the city. And what we're seeing here is a view of Grand Boulevard. Grand is the only main roadway that cuts through our campus. And so it kind of splits us in half. But outside of that, it is your typical college campus with ivy and fountains and other features all across campus. That kind of the blue fencing you see right there, that's actually where the new STEM building is located. So it's a brand new building located right in that location. That's been a great addition to our campus. So we offer a lot of great opportunities in that regard. Speaking of our main campus, we're located right in Midtown, right in the middle of the city of St. Louis, which is essentially the arts and culture district of the city. If you've been to the Fox Theater before, about a 5-minute walk if you're taking a slow walk to get there. And so It's really great to have that main theater right next to our campus. There are also numerous concert venues and art galleries in the area. SLU actually has 3 museums on campus itself, so we help contribute that cultural feel. We're about 10 minutes west of downtown. We're situated right next to the Central West End with a lot of great restaurants and coffee shops and boutique shopping, and about a mile east of Forest Park, the big park in St. Louis that everyone loves, with the St. Louis Zoo and the art museum, the history museum, the science center. So it's just down the street from our campus, as well as in the Midtown area itself. There's over $1 billion of redevelopment going on in the area. So we're very happy to see the growth of the region that our campus is located in. But like was mentioned already, we do have a second campus in Madrid, Spain, SLU Madrid. Students can study abroad there for that typical semester, as well as, depending on the program, could be as long as a year or even 2 years. However, if you are interested in studying in our campus here in St. Louis, we do have a 2-year on-campus living requirement. That means that you need to live on campus during your first 2 years of freshman and sophomore year. However, if you do live within 25 miles of campus, you do have the option to commute to SLU. If you remain at home with your family, we give you that option to do that. We don't want anyone to get an apartment by themselves, but if you wanted to remain with your parents, that's perfectly fine if you live within 25 miles from campus. Student involvement, about 92 to 93% of our freshmen live on campus, and so we have a very active on-campus involvement to keep them coming back for their sophomore year. We have over 150 different student organizations to get involved with. We have 30 club sports and 50 intramural sports. If you want to participate in athletics and you're not quite a Division I athlete, about like 99% of our population here. We do offer a lot of great opportunities there. And honestly, with the club sports, a lot of the teams that we don't have a Division I team for, we have the club level. So although we don't have Division I athletics for rugby, ice hockey, equestrian, we do have that at the club level. But if you're looking more like rec league style, playing like indoor soccer or soccer with your friends, that's what you're gonna be looking for, the intramurals. With the other campus organizations, they range from cross-cultural groups to religious backgrounds, to media, to service, and Greek life. We do have 7 fraternities, 7 sororities, and 10 multicultural fraternities on campus. It's a little bit different since we are located right in the middle of the city, but about 20% of our students participate in Greek life when they come to SLU. And so I think that's a really good number, because it's not so large that you feel that you have to join Greek life to get involved in campus, but it's not so small to where you feel, well, why would I do it? So it has a very strong student following on campus where those students are engaged on campus, but you don't feel that you have to join that to feel that you're involved. So we offer a lot of great opportunities to get involved on campus. And one way that we wanted to encourage students to do that is obviously for them to feel safe. We're right now in the middle of a pandemic, and we have made a very strong effort to be a safe campus for our students, our staff, and our faculty. Since we are a Jesuit university, part of our mission is the idea of personalis, that care of the whole person. And so we've had that be our driving force to making our campus community safe for this fall 2020. The first thing is the campus clear app, that if all students, staff, and faculty, we're keeping track if we are showing symptoms or if we're perfectly fine or we're working from home. Also, if you're going to be visiting campus, you need to download it in order to come to our campus to keep track of that as well. It's a requirement to wear a mask at all times, pretty much outside of just eating or if you're in your residence hall room. If you're just walking around campus, we require that those masks to be worn in order to keep our campus safe. For this fall, we've canceled all gatherings larger than 10 people. And we gave the students an option this fall to either take all their classes remotely or be able to return to campus if they were comfortable with the protocols we had set in place. The majority of our students still wanted to return back to our campus, but some did choose to take the remote learning, and we really emphasize providing a quality education for those students as well. And not only are we working to keep our campus community safe, we really are trying to reach out to our greater St. Louis and our national community with, we're currently doing research and running some vaccine trials for the coronavirus, as well as we're looking into how to identify and track outbreaks and developing guidelines for infection prevention. So not only are we in the forefront of really making our campus safe, but also making our greater St. Louis community safe as well.
Okay, so I have the pleasure of talking to you a little bit more about what it looks like As far as your next steps, we will also cover things like our Honors and Scholars program, things like scholarships, and also some deadlines. So this is a really great part of the presentation to maybe have your cell phone out or to have maybe your laptop take a screenshot, because we are going to talk about, again, some deadlines, some next steps. And so just to make sure you're keeping everything in line, especially for those of you that are seniors, I would love to kind of just walk you through what it looks like to basically become a Billiken from here. So our application did open up in August, and so we have been live for a little while, and you can apply to SLU through either the common application or the application on our website. We do not have a preference which one you submit, so it really just kind of depends on how many schools you're applying to and what avenue you choose. They are both free, and so again, it's totally up to you on what you choose to use to apply to us. In addition to that application, we do require your high school transcript, or if you are a student that is going to be a transfer student, we would require your community college or your four-year university, whatever universities you've attended as a student, we will require those transcripts as part of that review process. An additional thing that is recommended but not required would be those three different things. So the resume, letters of recommendation, as well as an admission interview. So the resume, again, kind of like your activity history, we'd love to know what you've been doing outside of the classroom as a high school student. Letters of recommendation are not required for general admission, but if you do decide to apply to maybe some of our honors or scholars programs, we are going to require a couple of letters of recommendation for those programs. And then we also offer what are called optional admission interviews. So this is basically an opportunity for you to typically sit down with your admission counselor, and we ask you a set of questions, and you have the ability to get to know SLU a little bit more in that process. Because of the pandemic, we are going to be doing these virtually, and so if you are interested in doing one of those, we can talk about at the end of this presentation how to find your admission counselor and get one of those set up. And then something new to SLU this year is that we are going test optional. So over the next 3 years, you have the ability to be reviewed for honors, scholars, general admission, as well as scholarships without submitting a test score. And not submitting a test score would not hurt you in your likelihood of getting into those programs or getting a scholarship. And I mentioned that we do have some deadlines, and so December 1st is going to, oh, sorry, my Apple Watch is going on. But we do have, December 1st is what we call our priority deadline. So what that means is we have some of those academic programs. We have physical therapy, occupational therapy, nursing, and our flight science program that do require that application to that specific program by December 1st of your senior year. So they are very strict with those deadlines, and so we want to make sure that you have your application in by those dates. And then as far as some other additional things that require that application by December 1st, we will talk about those honors and scholars programs in just a moment. But also in addition to that, we have our presidential scholarship. So we will talk about how to access those applications in just a moment. So for our scholarships, we do offer a couple of different types. So the first type is going to be our merit scholarships. These are awesome because we offer a wide range of these. So as you can see, they are going to range from $8,000 a year up to $23,000 a year. And one of my favorite things about these scholarships are they do not require a separate application. So when we review you for admission, we are reviewing you for these merit scholarships. And as long as you maintain a certain SLU GPA, those again are going to be renewable. So you can plan to get those for all 4 years. So again, no separate application for those. We do have 2 competitive scholarships that will require a separate application. The first one is the Presidential Scholarship. This is a full tuition scholarship to SLU. Again, it requires that separate application. You have to have at least a 3.85 to be reviewed, and then you have to receive an invitation to interview with us. So that is not one of those automatic, if you have a 3.85 and you apply, that you will get it. It is very competitive in that we usually get, I would say, around 1,200 applications. We invite, I would say, about 500 to campus, and usually anywhere from 35 to 50 students will receive that scholarship. We are really looking for, in that program, our next round of leaders on our campus. And so we really do take a look at that activity resume. Of course, we look at your academics, but then we also have that essay portion as well. And as you can see, it has a December 1st deadline. The next one is the Martin Luther King Jr. Scholarship. This is for students that have a passion for social change, social justice, as well as diversity. This again does require that separate application by February 1st. You do need a 3.25 GPA, and you have to receive an invitation to interview for that one on campus. And that is typically an additional $3,000 per year on top of your merit scholarship. So we have a long list and a wide variety of our honors and scholars programs. And so you can see that they are going to vary depending on what you're likely interested in maybe studying or doing potentially in professional school. So the first one that I'm going to cover, and for the sake of time, I will just kind of breeze through some of the other ones, but the first one is our honors program. This is a great program because it allows students to basically apply into this program as an incoming freshman by December 1st. Or you can also apply as a current student. For those that are interested in starting as an incoming freshman, it does require a 3.8 GPA. Some benefits of this program are going to be some seminar style classes. There's a learning community that you can live in on campus with other honors students. You do get priority registration. And just like your honors and AP classes look great to colleges and universities, an honors program looks great when you make your first career move or maybe for professional school. Another one that is very popular is what is called our Medical Scholars Program. This program does require what we call an outstanding academic record. So they are going to be looking for typically A's and B's on your transcript. And this is for students that have an interest in going to SLU's School of Medicine. There is a slumor out there that we have a direct entry medical program. However, that is not true, but we do have what we call basically an early admission potentially with that program. So you would get in that medical scholars program a guaranteed interview with SLU School of Medicine during your sophomore year of college. So again, it's a guaranteed interview, but not a guaranteed seat. And then we have a program for students interested in going to SLU's Law School. That is a direct spot. We have a partnership with the newly named St. Louis College of Pharmacy, which is, it's kind of a mouthful, but it's the University of Health Sciences and Pharmacy in St. Louis. We also have a great PA Scholars Program for students interested in SLU's PA School. And then if you are interested in business, you can be automatically considered for those programs at the bottom. The Business Scholars Program allows you to get your business degree in 3 years. The Accounting Scholars Program allows you to get your master's in accounting in 5 years with enough hours to sit for the CPA. Okay, so again, pop out that cell phone and take a great picture of this screen. So these are our deadlines. And we've already covered a lot of these, but this is just kind of one of those slides that, again, it shows you everything you need to know between basically October, which is this week, which is pretty crazy, and May. So as you can see, we do have those deadlines. December 1st is one of the bigger ones. For those of you that are interested in maybe nursing, PT, or OT, you will start to get those admission decisions for those programs in early February. Early February is typically when we hope to have financial aid packages out too, so we do hope to have your FAFSA information by then. And also early March is when you can find out if you are admitted to those honors and scholars programs, and May is when we hope that you choose to come to SLU. So that's the date that colleges and universities are really hoping to get your final decision if you plan to come or not. And this presentation is obviously super great. We're having a lot of fun and you're learning a lot about SLU, but there are so many different ways to connect with SLU after today. We are doing virtual high school visits. We also do have so many different ways to tour campus. So whether you want to do a tour in your pajamas at your house or whether you'd like to come to campus and strap on a mask and do an open air tour, we have so many different ways to connect with us. And again, one of my biggest recommendations coming from an admission professional is to really engage with us as your admission counselor. We are your advocates and we want to get to know you and help you get all of those answers about SLU that you're looking for. And so if you do go to our visit website, you can also see we have different academic sessions available. Again, you can take a tour. There's so many different ways to connect with SLU after today. And so I hope that this presentation has been helpful and that it kind of piques your interest in finding other ways to get to know us as a university. And we'd love to get to know you too. Okay, so now we are going to transition over to hopefully getting some questions answered for you. And I am really excited to hear a little bit more from David and Megan too about what it's like to be a Billiken from the student perspective.
Great, thank you, Katie and Mark. Okay, we have lots of activity here in the chat, so we are very excited to answer your questions. We're going to try to get to as many as we can. Please don't hesitate to continue to drop your questions in there as you'd like answers. So let's start with one. Megan and David, I'm going to have you both answer this. What do students do on the weekends?
There's a ton to do both on campus and throughout the city of St. Louis. I think that's one of the real perks of being at SLU is that you have access to the whole city. I think Mark was already talking about Forest Park a little bit earlier. That's one of my favorite places in St. Louis. There's always different events. They have like food truck festivals over there, and you can go to the zoo and the museums. And there's just always stuff going on. And then on campus, we have a couple different student organization groups that will put on different stuff to do throughout the weekends. I know one time I went to like a roller skating night where they just, like one of our big ballrooms, they just put down like a roller skating floor and we got to skate around it, which was really fun. So there's always stuff happening.
Going off of what Megan said, there's always a lot going on campus, and one of my favorite things to do on the weekends is going to sports events. So like most of our students stay on campus for the weekends. It's not really common to go back home, for the weekend. So there's always a lot going on when it comes to sports, and all of the sports events on campus are free for students, and they're always having all kinds of giveaways in these sports events. So t-shirts, scarves, food, all kinds of stuff. And, beyond our campus, we have the MOOLA, which is right by our campus, where you can, go bowling, go to the movies. There's all kinds of stuff to do there as well. One of my favorite things to do in St. Louis is going to the Hill, which is the Italian neighborhood. So since my family is Italian, there's a lot of food that I love there. So definitely one spot that you guys should definitely check out when coming to St. Louis.
Thank you. Okay, Megan, we have a question about, I'm going to let you answer this. So we have a North Campus and a South Campus. And our South Campus is where our medical district is housed. So that's where the new SLU Hospital is located, the School of Nursing, the Doisy College of Health Studies. That's where our Vaccine and Research Center is located, where our COVID vaccine research is happening, and along with all variety of other research. It's also where our medical doctors, our doctors' facilities are located, and our children's hospital. So Megan, as a pre-med student, can you talk a little bit about twofold here? Is there a disconnect between the North Campus and South Campus? And then what's it like to be a part of that South Campus environment?
Sure. I have not experienced any type of disconnect between North and South Campus. When we say North and South Campus, there's like 3/4 of a mile between the two at the most. I'm not very good with distances, but I think that's about what it is. But most of the people that are going to be taking classes on the South Campus also have classes on the North Campus, or they live on the North Campus. So they're very connected. We have a shuttle that runs between the two. It's maybe a 5-minute ride. So I think the two are very, very well integrated. I love South Campus. I haven't had a ton of classes down there, but I go down there a lot. Pre-COVID times, I volunteered in the emergency room at SLU Hospital. And I'm very excited for the new hospital. I haven't gotten the chance to kind of check it out yet, but I'm excited for that. There's all kinds of stuff on South Campus. There's a very good cafe called Fresh Gatherings that our nutrition and dietetics students run, and it's amazing. So I'll take the shuttle down there just to get lunch, even if I don't have anything going on South Campus. So yeah, I think the two are very, very nicely tied together.
Great, thank you, Megan. Katie, can you describe the process for a student to apply to the Martin Luther King Scholarship?
Sure. So the Martin Luther King Jr. Scholarship, it lives in SLU's application for application portal. So basically, once you apply to the university, whether you do the SLU application on our website or through the common application, you have access to the SLU application portal. So in that portal, there will be a couple of different sections. One of them will say like my applications, and then one of them will say something like scholarships. And so that is where you can actually apply for the specific scholarship. And within that, you will typically type up like your activity history. So that's where you can put in your leadership, things like your service. If you've worked maybe, so this is where you kind of put in like your resume information. And then there also is a spot and they have an essay prompt for you. And so you would fill that out and you'd hit submit. That one is due February 1st, but it is open and available for you to apply to it now if you are a senior, but you do want to just make sure that you do that application by February 1st. And then typically we will try to reach out to students in maybe late February, early March if they are invited to campus to interview. Typically that is on campus for a weekend and we do several different events. This past year, because of COVID, because it happened in March, we had just kind of closed up shop for a little bit on campus. So we actually did that virtually, and students do a couple of interviews with people from the SLU community for that specific scholarship.
Thank you, Katie. David, we have a question about learning communities. Can you talk a little bit about, what that means? Maybe give a couple examples. What's a learning community?
So what a learning community is pretty much a residence style that you can choose to live in, where you can join students from, their common interests. They can be academic or it can be social. So we have learning communities for business, for engineering, for health sciences, but we also have learning communities for service, for global citizenship. So it depends really on your specific interest. And you can be part of a learning community or you cannot. It's, you can apply separately for that. You can choose to be a part of it or not. And they're usually a floor on a specific residence hall on campus. So we have learning communities in Spring Hall, we have learning communities in Grand Hall. So it really depends on where they're gonna live as well. Also, as a part of a learning community, they can require to take specific classes, they have specific events. Some learning communities require you to have specific service hours as well, and they do activities together. It's all about that social experience that a residence hall will offer you.
Thank you, David. Megan, are freshmen allowed to have a car on campus, and how many do?
Sure. So freshmen are definitely allowed to have a car on campus. We have a bunch of different parking lots and a couple large parking garages. So if that's something that you're interested in, that's definitely an option. I am a senior now. I've never had a car on campus. I haven't felt like I needed one. All freshmen that are going to live on campus get a free Metro Pass. So that gets you on our light rail train system and the bus system that goes all throughout St. Louis. So it'll take you downtown to see a Cardinals game. It'll take you the opposite way to, go to Target, something like that. So we have a ton of different ways to get around the city, and more likely than not, one of your friends is going to have a car if you really need one. So I would say, yes, some freshmen do bring cars. I never did. I didn't feel like I needed it, but it's up to you.
Thank you, Megan. Mark, we have a couple questions about research. Could you just speak generally about research opportunities for undergraduate students?
Yeah, so we're considered what's called a high research institution by the Carnegie Foundation. And what that means is not only do we have great research opportunities for our faculty and our graduate students, but we also have great opportunities at the undergraduate levels as well. It's going to depend on your major, how early you can get involved with research. Some programs want to see you have a semester to a year under your belt in the program before they let you get involved. Others will let you jump in right away first semester. But really the best way to find out about what research is going on campus is to talk to the faculty. You'll find out when you're at college that the faculty do not shy away from talking about the research that they're doing. So they are spread across the whole campus. We do great research, not just in our STEM programs, but even our liberal arts programs, like programs like political science. They do their own forms of research. So you don't have to be a biology major to get involved with research on campus. So on top of working with the faculty with the research that they're doing, you do have opportunities to do your own research on campus. And one way is by being a part of the honors program. You can apply for what's known as ILEX grants. ILEX grants is a way to propose your own grant-funded research that you can do through that program. So we're trying to provide a lot of great opportunities for our students, not only to get involved with the research that is going on campus. Some great opportunities that we have are we have what's called the Space Systems Research Lab, which is an interdisciplinary engineering lab in our Parks College of Engineering Aviation Technology. what they do is they work on building like small cube satellites to work with NASA and other universities across the country to launch in outer space and do some research in that field. And I know that is a interdisciplinary lab that they let first semester freshman engineering students get involved with. So that's basically graduate level research that we're allowing freshmen to get involved with. And so it's just one of the cool things that we do offer. But like I said, on top of that, there are avenues to even do your own research and grant funded research at SLU.
Thank you, Mark. David, we have a variety of questions around study abroad. So could you talk a little bit about, let me say this first. Currently, 60% of our students choose to study abroad. Many of them will choose to study abroad at our campus in Madrid, Spain, but we do have a partnership with over 50 universities worldwide that allows for seamless credit transfer and many times a variety of scholarship opportunities to transfer as well. All of our undergraduate degree programs allow study abroad, including nursing, physical therapy, occupational therapy, and engineering. All of those can be difficult to find study abroad opportunities at other institutions. So we're proud to say that that's a priority for our curriculum. So David, could you speak a little bit about study abroad and what that's like at SLU?
So studying abroad is a very nice experience, and it's very convenient for SLU students to study abroad. That's why it's very popular. So first of all of your credits and scholarships will transfer to your study abroad program. So that makes it sometimes actually cheaper to study abroad than to actually stay studying in the US. So that's very attractive, especially to your parents, I believe. But absolutely, it's a very, very fun experience. If you're in Madrid, for example, all of our students here, they go to roughly 10 countries in one semester when they're here. They're always traveling during the weekends. So it's actually an experience beyond the academic side. You're obviously going to be having classes. You're obviously going to be working on your major, but you're going to have so many other nice experiences going to different countries, learning about different cultures, even learning a different language. So it's definitely something to open your eyes to the world.
Thank you, David. Katie, we have a question about being a commuter student. So a local student, if they're a commuter student, would they lose an experience, that college experience, if they weren't living on campus?
So as we said in the presentation, we have a lot of students that live on campus. So usually I would say anywhere between 92 to 93% of our students do choose to live on campus. But part of that is because usually our campus is about 70% outside of Missouri and about 30% inside of Missouri. So we are a national university, so we draw students from all across the country. But I work with a local tier just like my colleagues, and so I do have students that commute every semester, and so we do have some really great commuter student resources. And so I really think that the benefit of being on a campus that's so involved is whether you commute or you live on campus, there is always something going on, and our commuter students are still very involved on campus. So they are typically still on campus in the evenings, maybe going to like a club or organization or a meeting, or they're staying to study with their friends at the library. And so I really think it's kind of what you make it. So I do have students that commute for a variety of reasons, whether it would be they have responsibilities at home or things maybe like financially. And so again, I think as long as if you choose to commute, I think that is totally great. I would just say to really kind of establish that community, take advantage of the Commuter Student Association, and you will get like a peer mentor that can kind of walk you through how to plug in on campus in a different way. And you also will get a meal plan, and so you'll still eat on campus. And so I really think, again, it's kind of what you make of it. And we are more than happy to talk to you. Even if it is something you're looking at financially, we will run a couple of different simulations for you. And so we will kind of walk you through that process when it comes time.
Megan and David, we have a very important question. How is the food on campus?
I know this is one of David's favorite topics, but the food on campus is delicious. I think we have so many different options. I'll say my favorite one is located in our business school. It's called the Ameren Cafe, and it's all, kind of create your own sandwiches and wraps and salads and stuff like that. So I'll let David handle more of this question, but that one's my favorite.
Oh, Ameren Cafe is by far the best place to eat on campus. It's in the business school. It's delicious. So I just came off my freshman year, and as in my meal plan as a freshman, I had unlimited swipes. So it meant that I could get into our grand dining hall at all times and stay there for the whole day if I wanted to. Obviously, I did do that, but it was tempting. I can tell you guys that. It's the main dining hall on campus. We have different sections in it. So we have sections for like grills, so you can have burgers, grilled chicken, that kind of stuff. We also have a dessert section, which is great as well. We also have a Mongolian, which is kind of like noodles and that kind of stuff. We also have a salad bar, a more allergy-free section as well. So we have a lot of options in Grand Hall, but we also have other restaurants on campus. So one of my favorites would be the BILLIKEN Grill, which is kind of a sports bar restaurant kind of thing. It's really nice. I mean, I go most of the time to Grand, but definitely if I want to try something different, I would always go to the BILLIKEN Grill because it offers a very nice atmosphere as well. And you can get meals there for a swipe as well, or you can spend your flex dollars, which is kind of the money that's included in your tuition, but so you don't have to spend money of your own, and get a very nice meal there.
Thank you, guys. Mark, can you talk a little bit about the presidential scholarship? Katie talked about kind of what we're looking for in an applicant, but can you maybe highlight just a little bit more on what sort of things we're looking at when we look at a resume, letters of recommendation? Just give a little more detail on that process.
Yeah, so absolutely what we're looking for, there's like three main categories. Academics, obviously, you've taken a rigorous course load at your high school and you've been successful. In regards to the resume, maybe you're not a part of like 12 to 15 different clubs or organizations. Maybe you're only part of like 5 or 6, but you're the vice president of one. You did start a club at your school. You're the captain of the softball team. You're very active in your church or community. We want to see leadership roles, not just participation, because at its heart, this is a leadership scholarship. And so we want to see that you've taken on an active leadership in what you're able to do, because obviously some schools like that I work with in Central Missouri, they might have like 5 clubs total, and like that's it. So we don't have the same expectation to be, well, you need to have a leader of 5 different clubs. Well, then you're a leader of all the clubs there. So it is kind of relative to the situation, but we want to see that leadership as well as service. So we've talked about several times tonight about how active in service our university is. So having that strong service background on the resume for the presidential scholarship just strengthens that application. And so basically how that works is you apply with your essay, the responses in the application portal. You would attach your resume and those letters of recommendation. We want 2 letters of recommendation. And just so you know, if like a lot of our students that are applying to like the presidential scholarship, they tend to also apply for the honors program, for medical scholars, and they all say they require 2 letters of recommendation. Don't worry, you just need to submit 2. We don't require you to have 2 different ones for each application to where you end up needing 8 letters of recommendation. That's ridiculous. So we just want 2 or 3 for those different applications, and so you are able to reuse those for that. You will want someone that can really describe your efforts as a student and as a person. We want insight into who you are, because your essay will only give us so much, your resume will only give us so much. The letter of recommendation is just another avenue for we are able to get some insight into who you are as a person. So I get asked all the time, well, who should write a letter of recommendation? Teachers are great, your counselors are great, because they can typically provide feedback on who you are, like in the classroom as well as outside the classroom, because they take note of how you're behaving in the hallways and how if you volunteer to help with other students, they're there to help you out with that.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, I know we're coming up on time, so I want to wrap it up with one final question. Megan and David, I'd like for you to answer and just share why you chose SLU.
I originally chose SLU just because everyone is so welcoming and friendly, and that was just immediately apparent when I got on campus. We are a collaborative school, and I think that that's important. I want to succeed, but I want everybody to succeed with me too. And that's just been, a really great environment for the past 4 years to, do well academically and socially and spiritually, and again, just as the whole person. And I've just really felt a lot of support.
So as for me, my why SLU, I have pretty much two reasons. The first one would be the academic excellence of the university. So the fact that the university offers you academic counselors, major mentors, career counselors, tutoring services, all that kind of stuff, just to make sure that you're doing well as a student, that attracted me a lot to come to the university. The second reason would be the whole Jesuit identity of the university. So those core Christian morals that the university holds so highly were very important for me when making my choice as well.
Thank you both. And on behalf of my colleagues, we would like to thank you so much for your time with us this evening. We're grateful to have you with us. We hope that we were able to answer a lot of your questions. You can find your specific admission counselor that's appropriate for your high school on our website. So if you go to the SLU website under admissions and you search find your counselor, you'll be able to see what counselor services your high school. We are offering interviews virtually, and you can find information on how to sign up for those on our website, as well as one-on-one meetings. Thank you again for your time tonight.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much. I'm going to share my screen once again for you guys. So thank you guys so much for joining us this evening. When you exit this screen, you will get a quick survey. It's just a 4-question survey, so we'd love any feedback that you can provide. Just remember, this is one of many sessions that are being provided throughout this virtual series, so check out the schedule at www.moacac.org. And again, this session was recorded, so in about a week, you will have the link to this session at moacac.org. Thank you for joining us.